All praises to Yahweh. All praises to Yahweh Shai. All praises for the Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone that have been and continue to teach the true gospel. Salute to the Akim, spreading the true gospel on the streets and lanes of the city, on the highways and hedges, and on the World Wide Web. Much love to the humble Akwath, who learn science with all subjection and are in righteous order under the men of Yahweh Yahweh Shai. This is the brother Raza from the Church of Philadelphia, Kent. Hey, the Lord just put on my spirit, to watch. It says watch as well as pray. So as I'm watching, hey, you seeing these prophecies unfold, right? This just, India, there was some tensions heating up for a couple weeks now. And now they just led with a military strike against Pakistan. And Pakistan said they're going to respond. Pakistan was gearing up, showing its missile strength too. So, hey, we in those times. There's wars, rumors of wars. This is basically a civil war, Elam on Elam, right? And you got Edom on Edom with Russia and Ukraine, right? Hey, you got China and Taiwan about to kick off too, right? So, hey, this is these are the days that the Lord spoke of, and as it says, the prophecies, hey, is unfolding, and his words is not going to go out void. So that's Yahweh Bashim Shai, who spoke of these days, and now we're seeing it, and these are the days the prophets have been out there talking about, since the early 70s, the late 60s, right? So now what you going to say? Are they still the crazy men? When what the Lord gave them in the spirit to speak, to warn the people about, and now is being fulfilled? Now what are you going to say? When it really kicks off in the Middle East, with Israel bringing the U.S. into a war, now what are you going to say? Because it's happening, and it's going to happen when that MOTB be fully implemented, right? And made mandatory. Then what are you going to say? Hey, it's really going to be up to Yahweh Bashim Shai, who takes it and who doesn't take it. He already knows who takes it, who will take it and who won't take it. So you better pray for a mighty spirit. That's everybody. I'm looking in the mirror, looking at myself, to pray for that mighty spirit. Because Lord willing, I'll be at that number where I can get beamed up to the chariot, right? Where I can get spiritual power. And that's what these devils know. They know the true men of the Lord are going to get that spiritual power. And they ain't going to be able to do nothing with us. That's why they watch us closely. They watch our every move. Spy out our liberties in every form of fashion. And that's why they're so nervous. And really want to kill us. If it wasn't for the Lord on our side, where would I be? That's the song in the church, right? Hey, but that's the truth for the men of the Lord, because they really want to kill us, literally. Besides just psychologically assassinating our character, right? So this thing is heating up, and it's not going to fail. The prophecies, it is what it is. So, hey, enough of me, Babylon. Let's see what Ephesians, getting this precept. It says, this book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 16, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Yeah, and that's twofold for us. I mean, the evil of this world, again, the sins of this world have reached up to the heavens. You know, and we know heaven is a place on earth, but it's reached up to the the dimension where the Lord dwells. Right? That's how stacked these transgressions are. And also, it's evil for Esau and other heathen nations too, because they in a trick bag. They don't know what to do to stop these prophecies. They're trying everything they can. You know, talking peace, 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 and ain't nothing but war going on. You know? So redeeming the time. So the men of the Lord know what time it is. Hey, and we know that the destruction of this place is our rise. We know that the wars around the world, that means our rise. Because these people are basically killing each other at a large scale. These lands are being demolished over there in the Middle East for our sake, for the controversy of Zion. Whether you believe it, like it, understand it or not. You know, through spirit, power, grace, and mercy, Yahweh Bashim Shai. These things are happening. And these prophecies, these days are speeding up to our salvation. You know? And the beloved apostle, you know, hey, deemed it, hey, the hopeful year of our salvation and destruction of Esau. Right? So redeeming the time because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of Yahweh Bashim Shai is. And so that's why, you know, we talk about having that patience. Because, you know, it's up to the Lord when all these things happen. You know? Ultimately, we're going to sigh and cry day and night because we want these things to happen now. But we also have to exercise our patience and suffer and learn through this suffering so that when we are truly tried with that MOTB, hey, we pass the test. Because the Spirit, the Lord that put on us is there. You know? It says, and be not drunk with wine. And wine is all these other philosophies of these religions, what this so-called devil tells us. That's a damn lie. Everything that comes out of his mouth is a lie. You know, sadly, 2/3 of us, and especially our women, are caught up in them lies. Holidays, their books, what a family structure should look like. You know, all types of madness that our people are drunk on. You know? And that's why it also says in Revelation, the other nations are going to be mad with Babylon the Great, a.k.a. America. You know? Because they've been sold a book of lies. And because America spends a lot of money. So they ain't going to have people spending that money on them. Right? But it says, and be not drunk with wine, wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit. And that's why we don't war with the flesh. That's why we don't, well, we are at war with our own flesh, yeah. But we're not carnal minded. You know, we are fully living through the Spirit. And it's the Spirit, power, grace, and mercy, Yahweh Bashim Shai. And it says, hey, what does it say? Rough paraphrase, those that worship must worship in spirit and in truth. So this is a spiritual warfare. That's why that patience and that suffering, hey, it's asking the Lord for that spiritual might. You know, because we can't do it ourselves. We have to hope and pray that He keeps the Spirit on us to continue to fight and endure to the end. But we're in some terrible times, and it's only going to get worse. But again, as men of the Lord, we're not going to be caught caught out there, because we've been predestined to be saved and endure to the end. Hey, that's why these people coming down having great wrath on us now. That's why that surveillance is ever even more tight. That's why they want to, again, assassinate our character and have us put in a low state so that we can crack. But hey, the Lord's going to put on the spirit of the men of the Lord who he's predestinated to overcome in the last days. And hey, Lord willing, I bear that number. But hey, it's kicking off. It is kicking off. And these places, these people are destroying one another for the controversy of Zion. Believe that. So hey, Lord willing, this video is edifying to the elect. Until next time, Shalom.